right, so at the Math Forum, we worry a lot about problem solving and kids thinking about math and kids thinking that they can do math. And I'm going to talk a little bit about ways in which we do that. Right? So long ago, sometime in the mid-90s, I was on an airplane and I was flying to Detroit. And I was going to do a sketchpad workshop, okay? So I gave up my window seat to a 3-year-old. And so his dad sat in the middle. It was late at night. The picture should be at night, but I couldn't find one. And the kid's looking out the window, and he's going, "Dad, what's that?" And Dad, being a good dad, is answering him. He said, "Oh, it's this, it's this." And this goes on for a while. "What's that?" What's the Dad answers. That's great. At some point, Dad apparently wasn't paying attention. And so he says, "What's that, Dad?" And I turned and I said to the kid, "Well, what do you think it is?" And he came. So I don't remember what it was, but I know it was profound. And so the rest of the flight went on like that. He's saying, "Oh, what's that?" And he'd say, "What do you think it is?" And eventually he doesn't ask anymore. He just starts talking about what he's seen out the window, right? And so later on, we're walking through baggage claim, and I went ahead, and they caught up with me, and the guy says to me, "I listened to the way that you talked to my kid, and you really made him think. I'm going to talk to my son differently from now on. Thank you." All right? So, all right, another story. So I'm going and I'm going to do a model problem solving with an 8th grade class, and the teacher says to me, "Now, these are our lowest 8th graders, so don't expect too much." Okay? So I drew this on the board, and I asked them to write down things that they notice about the picture. All right? So they're writing, and they're in some. Then we said, we're going to share some stuff that you notice. All right? So we start gathering things together, and we start recording things on the board. And I know that you are all noticing things because that's what you do, right? You're noticing things about this picture, right? So we start making a list. So is your thing on this list? Okay, here's a list of things that they noticed, right? It's very mathematical. These are kids who cannot do math, remember, okay? And they've come up with all this mathematics, right? Their teacher's standing in the back, sort of, picking her job from the floor. So, and there are a couple things on the list that I asked them, could you say more about? So one of them said, well, it used to be a square. And so I asked him to come up, and he drew a little box to show what he meant by that. And then another kid said, well, it can be split into 2 rectangles. And so he came up, and he drew a line to show us how it could be split into 2 rectangles. For homework, they all got the problem, and they were asked to write down things they remembered. Some of them actually solved the problem, even though they didn't have to. It was about tiles and stuff. And the teacher sent me this excited email, like, my kids actually did mathematics. And I'm like, see, where can we go with that? So another piece to noticing is, can you wonder about things? Can you be curious about things? And instead of asking kids, what don't you understand, or does anyone have any questions, ask them what they wonder. It displays curiosity, not misunderstanding.